If you don't read the news, then you are uninformed. But if you read the news, then you are misinformed. Those are the wise words from Denzel, which leaves us to the show of today, which is media agenda. We really looking into this media that is giving us news every day, whether it is giving us what we should scrutinize and why, what is the narrative, what is the objectives thereof. Good morning, Mr. Sebe. How are you?
Good day, sir. How are you?
I'm super, Minir.
Yes. Good morning to the listeners as well.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
The viewers, that is.
Yes. Oh, is it the viewers? Okay.
I don't think we are in the
I'm
radio
used to
show.
radio.
No, maybe we should turn it into radio, eh?
Yes.
Right. As we will be deliberating, of course, as we do every day, all day, on our specific show today, which is Media Agenda. Is what we hear really what we should hear, or the truth thereof? And is it censored? Do you think we are censored, Sebe, on what we consume every day?
Yes, thank you very much, Beto. I think it is a very important topic that we are talking about because of, again, we need to put it there that the media is a very important tool of our democracy or even of any country. So therefore, its censorship and uncensorship is very important for us in order to get, news that are impartial, news that are really not censored. But to answer your question was, is the media censored?
Are we censored?
Yes, and definitely, the information that we're getting, it's micromanaged. And perhaps I can even make a typical example and say to you, everyone knows about the educational background of the former President Jacob Zuma. That he never attended senior secondary school or whatsoever. And the media will make noise about it. But no one knows about the educational background of John Steinhazen. No one is saying anything that the guy does not have metric, that the guy does not have any higher qualification. And that will tell you, Uguti, the media houses, they are driving a certain narrative because of, obviously, it is painting, a bad picture that, a white senior politician is not educated. So therefore, they will try by all means not to put it out there to the public for the public to know. But hence, if it is a black leader, and in particular, our former president, Jacob Zuma, they spoke a lot about it, So, I always say to, the president of any state will reign for 5 years or 4 years, but the media will always rule forever. So that's the power that the media, has.
All right, so who is behind this power? Who is supplying those information, or the powerhouse?
Okay. I think maybe in South African context, we need to understand Uguti, our media it's very diverse. And most of people will speak about the majority of our media. So in South Africa, we have what is called a public broadcaster. SAICA. And definitely that one is the broadcaster that it's owned by the state. And then we have what we call a private commercial media. That would be your Prime Media, Nespas and all that, those ones are privately owned, like your 94.7, 702 and all that. So there is a very diverse when it comes to media houses. But to answer your question, I mean, power owns any media house that we can even speak about. Whether you go into the international media, and then we speak about BBC. We all know that BBC is owned by a company called Royal Charter. And Royal Charter is owned by an England monarch. It's owned by the Queen. So therefore, you would see that anything that is said there or even propagated there, it's something that will favor the Queen, or it's something that will favor the British, what we call state. For instance, if you would remember, the media was used as a big tool when America and Britain invaded Iraq, because of it was always said, to any news platforms that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, and they were using media, and they convinced us. I still remember I was still at school then, and I was really following that narrative. To know, but surely
they are wrong.
They are wrong. You know, only after it has been said, that was not true. But remember, people have died. America and Britain have taken power over a sovereign state. So that is the power of media. That is the power of what media can do. Even in South Africa. Another example, will be our former statesman, President Mandela. You know, everyone speaks about Uguti Mandela spent 27 years in jail. He spent 27 years in Robben Island. But we all know that it's a lie.
I thought you were going there.
Yes, I am going there.
It's very sensitive. You should have tell. Yeah. I was very careful.
No,
we speak the truth.
Yeah, we're speaking about the truth. Uguti, that itself will tell you, Uguti, media has so much idolized this man. And we are not taking away the fact Uguti, he was a powerful man, he was a thinker. But I feel Uguti, it should have been said, Uguti, no, Mandela spent 18 years in Robben Island. Then he went to Portsmouth, he spent certain years, then he went to stay with a certain white family. I think that itself, it should have been there.
Not to say the whole 27 years.
Yes, it should have been. Everyone should know that. Now he spent 18 years in Robben Island. He spent certain years in Portsmouth, and then from there he went to stay with a white family. It shouldn't be a secret, you know. So that's the power of media. Whether we speak about Ramaphosa, this new term, New Dawn, it comes from media, you know. And you would even see, even people see certain shenanigans that are done by this man. But the media is always there to protect him. You know, the media is always there to say, no, this is the new dawn, of which it was a different case. So, I think I'm just articulating the point that the media can make you or break you.
The power of media.
Yes.
That who feeds you.
Yeah, he who feeds you controls you.
Yes. So it's the same narrative.
Yes. And again, but there is that lazy thinking from lazy thinkers who will say, no, but there are certain media houses that you'd find the bosses there are black. And to me, that is low thinking, Joe, because of we're not really worried. Who's the CEO there? We want to know the funders.
Yeah.
We want to know the advertisers,
the
people who are putting money there, because those are the people who are driving the narrative. Yes.
All right. As we doing this show, making sure our people are well aware of really what is going on out there. All right, Stebe. As we were busy, what has Wi-Fi done to this control now? Do you think it has shifted the control from those powerful powerhouses to individuals now who have that ability to choose now what to watch, when to watch.
No, but I mean, people are so much convinced ukuthi, I mean, when we the platforms like the ones that we are having, have really changed. I may say in a certain way, but mainstream media is what really is the problem, because of very few people have access to shows
To
like
us,
like Controversy and other shows. But most of people, rely on mainstream media, whether that it's print, whether that it's radio, whether that it's television. But most people rely on mainstream media, and that's where the monopoly is. And really, I think it is very important ukuthi we need to understand the role of the media, ukuthi what is it. Firstly, in fact, is to be the watchdog of the people.
To keep us well informed.
Not only that, they need to be a watchdog.
How do you mean? Watchdog?
I mean, they need to make sure ukuthi the government is held responsible or accountable. Yes, thank you, accountable. That's their mandate. Secondly, they need to inform us. Thirdly, they need to educate us. But the most important thing that the media, or even media that needs to do, they need to be the voice of the voiceless. So even citizens, they need to have access to the media so that they can ventilate their opinions or even their cries to say, no, but here we have a problem of service delivery, and the media should really, air those, those cries, those sentiments, and take it further to the government, even to investigate, certain issues. So really, the issue of journalism here in South Africa, it's another matter, because like I said, even the SABC itself, for the mere fact we are saying it's a public broadcaster, but you still find the Minister of Communication, Mondli Ngubele, I think it's Mondli Ngubele now, will sit on these spots. Therefore, that will tell you ukuthi, they are forced not to say certain things about the ruling party. So the issue of partiality and impartiality, I think it's there for anyone to judge.
All right. Talking about this new trending name now, they say it's trash TV, and yet they still continue to watch that trash TV. What do you know about this trash TV?
Well, Vetu, I really distance myself from anything that even the name itself would suggest otherwise. But I feel ukuthi we are really a doomed nation that seems to entertain things that are not productive, things that are not informative, things that will not yield anything for that matter. So it is a content that it's all out there in order to get the audience. So they would say anything and everything, and I fail to understand why organizations like BCSS or something, they're not taking part in terms of making sure whatever it's been said, it is said correctly. Because of, even if you are not in a mainstream media, you are doing private shows like Controversy, but I still feel the language, the information and everything, it must be a balance checked, because of you do not know the consumer of this information, how is he or she is going to take it. Therefore, it is very important people who have access to, or people who are making news, or people who are broadcasters or whatever, privately or even in mainstream, they say what it's right, they say what it's building to the community.
All right, I hear you, Stebe. What are we learning from shows that are on our mainstream media, and Is that all that we can get from our media?
I mean, it's nonsense. Really, it's nonsense, and you would see the monopoly that it's there. You know, Uguti, you'd find one media company. Staying. Getting airtime for the past 20 years. And that itself will tell you, Uguti, there is a certain monopoly because of, again, I don't know why people are afraid of change. I feel, Uguti, in actual fact, one writer says, a media space, it should be considered, as a marketplace of different opinions. So therefore we really do not want one company or even two companies controlling every content that we see on TV. We want different opinions, we want different content, but again, it is difficult. I've been into most especially I once went to SABC to do a pitch for one company of my friend. It's very difficult for a small company, even if you have a great content, but the issue of capital, it becomes a stumbling block for most of these companies. That's why you'd always see similar faces, boring faces in TV. Yes.
All right, similar faces. But is our community ready though to have that scrutiny on what we see and choose wisely on what to watch, when to watch?
But exactly, it is the power of media to prepare them to be ready.
But I'm leaving it now to the individual now. You see you washing trash, you continue washing trash. Why? Because
But the question is, there are limited resources for you to have an alternative, and that's the power of media. Uguti, the content itself, or even very few people have access to pay TV, where they can choose what they want to watch. But most of our people, are being given, these shows. They don't have any choice but to watch these shows.
Right. Let's talk about those who have choices now.
Yes.
They're saying about 70% of Soweto has Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Now, those people are still continuously going for those shows as Dalango 8, Ngo 9 every day.
Yes.
And learning nothing while they are shows that you can learn a skill or two in YouTube. You can learn to edit more videos. You can learn to start your own business. There's everything. A world is in their hands, and yet they continue to go back to that narrow-minded TV.
Yeah, the mistake that we are making is to suggest that Uguti, everyone that has Wi-Fi, he's capable enough or well informed. Uguti, these are the things that he can find, because remember, we all grew up. Watching Bold and the Beautiful and all that. So it becomes a culture.
No.
By 8 o'clock, no, you'll see. Honorable Mfundi Vundla, Morula pictures.
You know the time, even if you are in the street.
You know.
Got such generation that
Mfundi Vundla is coming.
All right, so it's grilled in our heads.
Exactly. But it has been really echoed into our minds. We need to do so. Religiously. Yes.
Let's start watching what's gonna benefit us in our endeavor of the future, of course.
Yes.
All right, coming now to fixing. Now we like fixing in this show.
Yes.
Where do we start fixing this partial media with agenda hidden somewhere? Where do we start fixing this?
But it starts with journalism. I still feel our journalists in South Africa, I feel they are not really doing a stellar job. I must be honest.
But we are journalists also ourselves.
then it simply means what we are not doing, I mean, a stellar job because of we are pushing a certain narrative. But like I'm saying, Wuti, the most important thing or the starting point would be, I mean, most of these media houses getting funding, getting access to even go to media, to mainstream what we call audience. Because as we are here, I mean, deliberating on matters, you know, we are only accessible to a certain audience. But surely should we be given time and airtime to host a show in a mainstream what we call a platform, then that will be able to I mean, we will be able to reach out to many people to say, I mean, this is the content that you need to follow. You know, you need to be informative about weather, about everything, you know, instead of really, I mean, watching repeated shows that I've watched when I was like 5 years or so, and then I'm still watching those. You know, I can even mimic what the actor or the actress exactly, because of, I mean, exactly that. It's what has been given to most of the South Africans. But again, I think the freedom of press, Mfethu, it's very important, and as well as more in particular, Mfethu, I can say the other things that we are talking about. I mean, trash TV and the content, telenovela, and all that. But the current affairs, Mfethu, it's a very sensitive issue. You know, I mean, newsroom. I feel Guti. There we really need. I mean, proper work. People need to be informed. I mean, good things. People need to be told truth. You know, people must not be misguided, as we have said. I mean, in your introduction, whether you decide not to watch news, then you are not informed. But you go watch news again, and then you are misinformed. You know, so
dilemma.
Yes, it's a dilemma, serious.
Okay, talking about now TikTok, it has also changed the game in terms of what is controlled by the media. But still, we as poor South Africans find the loophole and we choose to dance all the way. Can't we change that narrative? How do we start changing that narrative to start using it for our?
We must be very careful of these Chinese companies, because of, I always say, Uguti, to every media house that it's out there, or even media company that it's out there, once it's profit driven, then there is a problem there. Then you need to go with your eyes opened, you know, because I mean, as in particular TikTok, I see most of the countries now, they are even legislating. I mean, the usage of TikTok to their countries, because of they see what it's even very detrimental in terms of instead of helping. I mean, the audience. Because what you find in TikTok really, and it's all about numbers, which again, the issue of the scrutiny of that content that it's there. I mean, it's there for anyone to wonder.
I would like to differ with you because with TikTok, it deals with the algorithm. Once you watch a video for a long time, means you have interest in that video, then it sends you what you spend more time on watching. So if you watch people dancing there, they will send you people who are dancing. And if you watch political people there, they will send you political people there.
But again, when you are speaking, I mean, in a sense, you now a privileged, you know, to distinguish or even to choose what to watch. But here we are talking about a misinformed nation, you know, and then you put the content there, you know, which maybe, I mean, it's gracious violence. You put it out there, you know. So I still feel even if it's a matter of whether it depends on the algorithm or whatever, I still feel yona leyo nto leyo, it must be controlled. That's why other countries they would control the content. The content that is very important.
Too much of something is not good.
Yes, because of remember, I mean, the power of media, whatever that can be that is said in the news, what it can do to, or whatever that it's manufactured there, that it can inflame, social conflicts. If ever there are certain, if ever kunento eshiwoyo lapha then ingashiwo kahle. I mean, let's just take for instance, July uprising. 2 years back. I mean, they were using the very same, informal platforms, TikTok or whatsoever, ziyakhala manje, and we saw what happened there. The country burned. People lost their lives. And they were using the very same platforms to perpetuate violence. So that's the power of media, and that's my defense anyway.
Those who are supposed to trend with very, very valuable information, they don't trend.
Definitely.
And the trash is trending.
Exactly, because people, I don't know why people are so much, people are so much glued into watching, trash news, trash TV.
Stop watching trash, guys. Stop watching trash and start watching something that will...
Yes, there are a lot of things that are very info educating that one can watch. But I'm saying
like the show.
Yes, like controversy. But I'm saying mainstream media must really come to board. Mainstream media must come to board.
All right, that's where we're gonna put it for the day. Thank you very much, Sebe, for giving us your input, Minir, on the media that has an agenda.
Yes.
We want to finish this agenda.
Yeah. Let's start with your agenda. I'm out. Thanks.
What is your agenda?
I don't have agenda.
Can't live without the truth, eh?